So, Firefox, Mozilla has a new CEO, at least.
They do. Top Fox here. They have a new CEO, issued a statement and an announcement. There were some things that caught people's eyes in that statement and announcement.
Yeah.
It's going in a ever so slightly different direction than they sort of have been, or at least
No,
I think so. I think they've gone in. They got the same foundation, but they got a little better guidance in a way, I guess.
I guess so, but nobody took it well. I think the internet is very cynical and negative about Mozilla and Firefox.
Of course.
I get it. I can see why, right? I mean, you say AI in the same sentence as Mozilla, and all you hear is groans. I understand.
Well, you say AI, and people are already groaning.
Well, see, but that we were talking about that before we actually hit the record button here, but that's the thing, right? I think people on the fringes like you and me, and probably the people that listen to this podcast, yeah, we all groan about it. There are going to be a few holdouts that are like, well, but there's this vast chasm of people in between the fringes, the fringe AI lovers, AI bros, all those types of folks, and then where you and I live over here, where we're, at best, cautiously optimistic about it.
Yep.
But there's that vast chasm in the middle of people that just shrug and use it.
In the middle.
Yeah, don't care. I don't care. It got me my search result. What do I care? I don't care. There's no argument you could use on them.
Occasionally it'll be wrong, and then they'll be all upset about that. But other than that, yeah, they don't care.
But then the next search is right, so then they're back to I don't care, right? So
it doesn't matter.
There is that vast chasm, but I think a lot of people that hear about this in the Mozilla front are on kind of like further on the fringe than we are, like well past cautiously optimistic and well more into the cynical side of everything. So this is not going to land well with them at all. I have, as I was telling Dan before this, I have almost infinite rope for Microsoft, or no, they've lost their rope. For Mozilla, I have almost infinite rope for Mozilla, not Microsoft. Totally different company. Very, very much out of rope with them. But because they're the only other company out there, that isn't directly entangled with Chromium, with Google's money, yes. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But they're the only non-Chromium out there besides Safari. And we'll actually talk a little bit about WebKit as well. But first, Mozilla making some moves. New CEO, Anthony Enzor DeMeo. Yep, we're not getting names right today at all. So anyway,
sorry.
He says, as Mozilla moves forward, we will focus on becoming the trusted software company. Before we go on, that I think is a really good sentiment, a really good statement, and something that I really, 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 really hope is the actual thing that they stick like glue to forever. Let that be your North Star, please. And we're gonna be okay. I think there's a way that you can slice this pickle without totally imploding what's left of your user base. I think you can do it. So he goes on. This is not a slogan. I'm thumbsing up to the camera if you can't see it. It is a direction that guides how we build and how we grow. It means 3 things. First, every product we build must give people agency in how it works. Privacy, data use, and AI must be clear and understandable. Controls must be simple. AI should always be a choice. Something people can easily turn off. People should know why a feature works the way it does and what value they get from it. Second, our business model must align with trust. We will grow through transparent monetization that people recognize and value. And finally, third, Firefox will grow from a browser into a broader ecosystem of trusted software. Firefox will remain our anchor. It will evolve into a modern AI browser and support a portfolio of new and trusted software additions. Okay, that was a lot. me and Dan, we're gonna go back and pick it apart. And I think the third part is where we're gonna have more words than the other stuff, because I think the other stuff is pretty good, right?
The other stuff's pretty straightforward, right? Yeah.
Right. So before we get to the third point, though, privacy data use in AI must be clear and understandable. Well, AI is not very understandable, right? It's a black box. But so I think you can make some.
To the point, though, is where is at least the browser, using it, and what is it?
Right.
What is it using it for? Right? Where is it? Where and what is it? Is it sending data to the black box? Right? And that needs to be transparent. I think that's my takeaway from number one.
I think you're right, but I think it's very easy for cynical folks on the internet to see it the way that I brought it up. Right? Very much. Yeah. So I appreciate your clear-headed and clear-eyed view on that particular sentence.
That one I got. That one's no problem for me.
Right, and I think it controls must be simple, right? Like the toggles to turn them on, the toggles to turn
on and off
to turn them off.
That's perfect. Yes, please. And like you mentioned earlier, not in an about config way.
God,
like where I gotta go.
I hope they don't
find it. No, make it a slider, a toggle, a question. I don't care. Easy. Make it easy.
Mozilla, do this. Do not hide it in about.config, about::config, whatever. Right. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do this. Yeah. I beg you.
Yes.
But because they say easily, something people can easily turn off.
Yeah,
that gives me hope.
That tells me there'd be a menu setting for that. Please.
Right. There's a AI slop button in the left of the settings that you can click on and just say all of it off. Like
turn it off.
Please let that be the future. That'll be fine. I'll take it. Right. And who knows? Maybe I will toggle some of them on. I thought that Orbit, the little summarize thing, I thought it was
that wasn't
fun
bad.
and
it was
cheesy.
It was local. It stayed local.
That was
right.
I think so.
Cool. I was cool with that.
Right. So, I mean, there are ways to do it right, and hopefully you stay on that path of, there definitely.
You know why it didn't survive, though, Leo? You know why it didn't survive? It didn't do enough. It didn't do everything. We wanted to do everything.
That's
because we're lazy.
AI sucks at everything. AI is really good.
It does.
And when I say AI, I mean machine learning, because that's what this is. Like AI is really good at very specific things that you train it for. But when you train it for everything, it sucks at everything.
Yeah, it's not good.
So
it's terrible.
Yeah. All right. So the second one I think is pretty easy to kind of agree with, right? Our business model must align with trust. We will grow through transparent monetization that people recognize and value. Sure, we want to know where money goes. That's actually a problem. A big
we know
argument.
Where it's been coming from.
Well, that's true.
We just don't know where it's going.
Right.
There's been a boatload of it being pumped in there
from Google.
From Google.
Yeah.
And we just have no idea necessarily where it's going. Although it was going to some CEO stuff. And then the rest of it was a bit of a black box.
Yeah, we do have... they do...
Yeah, relatively transparent, but...
Yeah, they publish that document at end of year, every year, that shows you like $500,000 went to this, $1 million went to this, or whatever. So, I mean, they do have the accounting. It has been transparent generally, right? They don't go into line items, right? Obviously.
That's the part, yeah.
Right. And I don't know that you would ever do that. I don't think you would need to do that to get
No, it's too big for that. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, okay, so the third one, this is really where the contention is going to be.
Oof.
Because of the line that says Firefox will remain our anchor. That's a good thing, but it will evolve into a modern AI browser and support a portfolio of new and trusted software additions. So to be clear, that will be Firefox and that will be their anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
I mean, I worry about it when it says modern AI browser. I think we have different definitions to that. All of us.
I think that's not clearly defined.
It is not, and it gives a lot of people a great concern because they think modern AI browser, they're thinking like, the Perplexity one or whatever, they got all those other spin-off Oh geez, they're all drawing a blank because
they're all the same exact thing because they're all Chromium,
they
but
are
these
all
are the
the
exact same ones that we were
Right.
making fun of a couple episodes ago because they were getting knocked over by all kinds of injection attacks that you didn't even realize were happening, and then it takes you to the wrong bank, and then you lose all your money.
That's where my mind goes when you say modern AI browser, and I don't want that. Please, not that. Don't give me that. Right.
No.
So and that's my concern.
Yeah. My mind went straight to the agentic crap that is coming out in some of these browsers, right? Like where you tell the chatbot, like, hey, I want to buy some airline tickets to Barbados. And then all of a sudden your email has, here are your tickets, because the AI agent took it upon itself to go and
we
dinged
thing. Your credit card, no problem. We just got the first ones that were available, and you got, here's $2,000 bill.
Yeah, exactly right. So
for a one-way plane ticket to Barbados.
Exactly. No hotel, no nothing. You're actually sleeping on the beach. Good luck, with the crabs.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that stuff is not good. There are tons of horror stories out there right now. So, I mean, sure, do that in 10 years once it's really, really good at it.
A little more refined.
The companies are 100% on board with giving you a full refund if you decided that the AI answer was wrong or something like that, right? Like, Once all the security mechanisms and catches and things like that are in place or whatever, sure, go hog wild. I won't, but you can.
Yeah, I don't think I want that either.
I'll still do the millennial thing.
Know. Yeah,
I'll still do the millennial thing where like any purchase over $50, you have to get out the big computer for. Like you have to sit at the computer or the laptop. You can't do that on your phone. Like that's no. That's too big of a purchase for a phone screen.
I do the old man thing like that too.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
And this is why I want a tiling window manager so that I can like compare easily, right? Two windows next to each other, easy. That's what I want. But I think the problem with that particular statement is that we just don't have enough information to make a good conclusion, to come to a conclusion about Firefox's future just yet, right? So this is going to be one of those wait and see kind of things, and that doesn't play well with anybody that already is in a cynical position with Mozilla. You're just immediately thinking, just like what me and Dan did, right? It's going to be crap because AI is crap, so Mozilla's going to be crap, and it's just going to be crap all the way down. And, you can be forgiven, don't get me wrong. You at least from where I'm sitting, you're forgiven for getting there. But, again, I said it before, Mozilla's got almost infinite rope with me, so I'm going to wait it out.
You're way more optimistic than I am.
I have to be, Dan. It's the end of the internet. End of the internet. I know. Is coming,
I get
Dan.
it, but I'm just like super cautious here. I'm very reserved. I don't know. I don't know where I feel yet.
Well, that's why you're a Vivaldi man.
I know, but I'm like at this point, I'm like you got to show me a little something,
right?
So that I can latch a hold.
Right. And so there is no takeaway on that third one just yet because I am reserving judgment because I don't know what AI browser means in this sense. And until I do,
that's scary. Yeah.
I can't say, well, this is going to be a good thing or this is going to be a bad thing or whatever. I have to reserve judgment at this moment to do this, right? But that's something that Waterfox is not doing. Waterfox has already made their statement, which is, well, this is why we exist, baby. We're here to catch all of you cynics. If you didn't already abandon Firefox for some other Firefox clone or to the Chromiums, we're here for you with open arms, and we'll never do the AI thing ever, for sure.
Yeah, well, and they also say they distinguish themselves a little bit from the other Firefox clones, in that they have basically values. So they've got some governance that and whatnot.
Shots fired.
That guides their light. No, but like guides their light in the way they do things. Right? They aren't just stripping stuff out and picking and choosing. They actually have some organization to it. So I guess if you're going to jump on one of these Firefox spin-off things, Waterfox might be a really good one to jump onto. I don't know.
One of the oldest. 15 years? When did that?
Yeah,
what?
That's impressive.
I was unaware. Cool. I knew they existed. I did not know they were that old, though. That was actually pretty cool. But yeah, so Alex Kontos of Waterfox says, I believe Mozilla is making a fundamental mistake. And I mean,
yeah, they said that.
That's been, well, I think a lot of people have said that over the past couple of years. Well, maybe longer than that, actually. But considers AI black boxes. It's a catch-all term that obscures what you're really talking about. And this is one of those reasons why I don't know what AI browser means. So once you define it, then I can.
It scares me, right? Yeah.
Right. And he says a browser is meant to be a user agent, more specifically, your agent on the web. Right. And so by adding AI jazz into it, you're losing some of that agency. And that's what I was getting at with the agentic stuff, right? Like, I don't want stuff to just show up in my inbox because I mentioned it offhandedly.
I don't want AI doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, we agree on a lot of things. And one of his other points was Mozilla speaks about trust, transparency, and user agency while simultaneously embracing technology that undermines all three principles. So I think that actually sums up quite well, at least as far as the AI conversation goes, what Firefox... the kind of pushback that on the internet and anywhere else that Mozilla and Firefox are actually coming up against. But here's my thing. Mozilla knows this. It's not that they're not listening. They're between a rock and a hard place, right? And I think even the Waterfox guy says that, right? Like, he knows that they're between a rock and a hard place, right? You're getting 85% of your revenue from Google. You gotta diversify. But if you've ever done anything...
Well, and you can't bite the hand that feeds you too much, right? Because Firefox does feed Waterfox almost directly.
Well, see, you can bite the hand that feeds you hand is
from
Firefox.
The technical standpoint, I know, but like the technical standpoints they carry over, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, but because it's an open source project, you can you fork. That's the idea. But I think,
and they touted that.
Right. Firefox is just in a more precarious situation because if you bite Google's hand, you lose almost all of your funding. But my point about that
I think they're trying to diversify that too. Yeah, so they totally called it out in their strategy, their portfolio strategy, which was linked on this blog post. Yeah.
Right. So if you've done anything ever businessy for any kind of company or group, you probably know something called or something like the SWOT analysis. This is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? So this is where you take a few of each of those categories and define them. And then this is going to be kind of your guiding light as far as what you're going to try to avoid or what you're going to try to spend all your money on or, all that kind of stuff. And so the W in SWOT, they did this and they identified three things. Over-reliance on search. And what they meant by that was they still depend. About 85% of their revenue is still dependent on Google being nice or being forced to by the U.S. government or some other government around the world, right, to either continue or discontinue doing that, right? Mozilla narrowly kept that money. Because Google was on the chopping block. They were in hearings, whether or not it wasn't specifically about the Mozilla thing, but it was Mozilla would have been they would have lost their revenue stream had this judgment gone the other way. But Google was still allowed to maintain their, and I don't hesitate to say monopoly, on the internet, which means that Mozilla will continue getting their 85% of their total global revenue. But they have identified that as a weakness. They know that getting all of their money from Google is a bad thing. So it is a weakness. AI talent. So outside of the AI bad, one of the big problems that Mozilla has had for the longest time is that they fired all their engineers, but none of those engineers were AI engineers though. Well, that I know of.
Still.
They're lacking talent. They don't have the AI talent. So that is another one of their weaknesses. They know that if they're going to be pushing all this AI stuff, that is one of their weaknesses, which means that they're going to have to come to terms with that. And by that, I mean they're likely going to hire some people. So hopefully that's what that means. And execution. Yeah. So execution is defined here as a very broad thing, and I think this is just the general consensus of the internet. They define it, the description here is mixed track record turning ideas into action into results. Slow. Yeah. I think that's everybody's general take on Mozilla. So they know they know that this
they've identified all the things that we've called them out on. I mean, we the internet have called them out on.
Right. And so, yeah, it's not that they don't know. It's not that they're not trying to pivot. It's that, these are the things, at least that they're trying to pivot to fix. These are the things they're trying to fix. So,
yeah, and like I alluded to earlier, like they actually called out one of the other weaknesses, which isn't, they didn't really call it a weakness, but it's part of their financial metrics. Says bottom line diversification. So
yeah,
growth in non-search, right, or non-Google revenue. They basically understand that they need to find another avenue to get their funding. They can't just depend on the Google money coming down anymore. And so they need to find something else to help them diversify their financial portfolio.
Yeah.
And so I again, that's a bit of a weakness, although it's helped bolster them so far. I feel like, having that one big giant revenue source is not sustainable. We've called them out for that for a long time, and they've obviously identified that as something that they want to work on. So kudos to them for, we've identified all the problems. All right, that's step
not
one.
all of them, but big ones.
But I mean, like the big ones, right? And so, like, now we need to fix them. Now we need to go. Now it's time.
Right. So they're looking forward. So all of this AI stuff is going to culminate into what they consider new experiences, because what they're trying to do is attract new users. So the problem that Mozilla has had for the longest time is that they're bleeding users, right? And rightly so, people have called them out for not retaining the users that they're losing and instead trying to attract other people. But my whole contention with that thing is that, like, to retain the users, they have to stay stagnant, right? If they change anything, they're going to lose somebody. Right? If they add anything, remove anything, integrate the VPN into it, oh no, that's just bloat. I'm out. I'm using something else or whatever. I'm going to Waterfox or whatever that may be. So for those types of users, you really can't retain them unless you do nothing. And even doing nothing is going to lose some of them because they're still waiting for a fix on that one bug that they have. So remember the 1000 tab girl? Yeah. I mean, someone is going to be using your software in a way that it was never intended to be used. And they're going to leave you because, well, you're not facilitating that use case. So I think pandering to, not necessarily pandering, but I mean, just focusing on retaining what you have is a losing strategy because you'll never make everybody happy. So the new user pivot, of which they've been trying to do for a long time, is really kind of the only thing that you can do. And I'm just not happy with the AI pivot, but I get it because better or worse,
it's the new hotness, I guess. Whatever.
It's like the cloud, man. Everybody who's anybody that isn't in tech knows that the cloud's where the hotness is. Well, that was 15 years ago. And now it's, AI is where the hotness is. So, by not following up with this kind of thing and exploring these options or whatever, you're I don't know, I guess you're leaving something on the table as far as new users are concerned. But, you need new users. Mozilla needs fresh blood. That's the bottom line. And fortunately or unfortunately, we'll find out in the next year or two if this AI push is really where those new users are to be mined.
I think they got to pull off some great tech feats in order to make it very, very usable, very functional.
Right.
And in a good way, in a responsible way. Once they do that, and they've shown people like me that they can do it.
You are the guy, though.
You could get some other users, and you'll start seeing the promotion happen by word of mouth by saying, this is a great thing. They're doing it better than anybody else. Until they do that, it'll be hard to sell, just on a promise.
Yeah, I agree. So they're going to try to win back developers. I don't know exactly how you do that because most developers I know are pretty sour on AI. So, I mean, this is kind of the exact opposite of winning back developers. So I don't know that that's going to be the segment that they pull new users from. But maybe I don't know enough developers. Maybe that's it. I need to expand my horizons a little bit. Maybe I need to check Twitter more often for the types of developers that are really into grok, I guess. But The bottom thing. So their last opportunity is the one that gives me hope, right? This is why they have more thread with me, more rope with me than had they not said this. This is what I'm hoping they really stick to. The theme is making open source AI the default, right? This is something that I have not seen any of the outlets talk about just yet. Open source AI, right? Okay, yes, I know LLMs are all a black box. I get it, yes. But the thing that you can do with these things to give people trust, what small amount of trust you can claw back to with LLMs and AI in general, is if you can show that the information going into AI, into these black boxes or whatever, is not patent encumbered or copyright encumbered or whatever, right? Like you can say, we're not going to have to go to court because all of this is public domain or all of this is open source or all of this is whatever.
You can examine it for yourself. Yeah.
Right. Everything that we're feeding it, look, here it is. That is kind of the point that they're making. This is the type of AI that they're trying to put into Firefox, or at least this is the type of AI that they have identified as an opportunity for Mozilla. And you don't just put stuff on these SWOT analysis. Well, okay, you know what? You probably do. But I would hope that Mozilla doesn't just slap stuff onto this SWOT analysis to try and make people feel better. I know that's at least some of this.
If nothing else, they did listen to what people want to. They're listening, right? And they obviously put it there because they listened to it. They didn't make it up.
Right, but nobody looks at the SWOT analysis. Nobody looks at the 16-page PDF portfolio strategy that they put out. They only read the WindowsCentral.com expose of this terrible AI pivot.
That was hot.
Right. I mean, I tend to agree with a lot of what they said and a lot of the people that they quoted, but they didn't talk about this part. Nobody talked about the fact that, and here's how they say it, open source AI needs a Linux-like breakthrough for a mainstream adoption. Mozilla could lead this shift and gain substantial market share by making open source AI the default developer choice. Open source AI is the best opportunity that any of us have at this point because AI is inevitable. I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's a sliver of hope that we can get rid of all AI, but there's just no doubt in my mind that there are going to be enough people.
I don't think they're not turning back.
Right. Yeah. There are enough people with enough power to make sure that AI sticks around in some kind of capacity. So the open source alternative to AI is our only hope. And if we know what we feed the black box, then we can at least be sure that the lies that it tells us are, well, we knew what was going in there. You know what I mean? Like, there is a way to do this better, and it is by not vacuuming up absolutely everything on the internet and pissing off people before you even get them to the starting line, right? Like, there's definitely a way to do this better. Not necessarily great, because I think the people that are going to be convinced or soured on AI, we're already in our little fence. We're on one side of the fence or the other. But I think there's a way that we can kind of move forward, and I think this is the only way to do it, is just to be as transparent as you possibly can when you feed the beast.
Yep, and I think that leads right into the strategy that they've identified here, and it's a short-term strategy. It's over the next couple of years. By 2028 is the goal here. It says, if Mozilla can build deep skill and relevance in open source AI, we can help decentralize how the tech industry works. If we can create products focused on agency and choice, we can empower people to shape the role of tech in their lives.
And this is the time to do it.
That's exactly what you just said, Leo.
This is the time to do it. Self-hosting, even though AI is sucking up all of the money to be saved on all of the hardware that you could possibly buy or whatever, self-hosting is still one of the top searched things that you can you can find right now. I mean, more and more people
you can run some of these things locally and do some, get some of the magic out of it all on your own, without feeding the wider internet, by doing so.
If I could shove an open source LLM into, like truly open source, the kind of thing that Mozilla is talking about, LLM into LM Studio to play with myself, 1,000%, I'm going to be using that over anything else. I mean, if you're stuck with AI like we are, at the very least, can we do it semi-ethically? And I mean, that's it. That's all I can.
It seems like their goal, because they're looking at, the open source AI, trusted AI experiences. And, obviously then they say delivering tech by and for everyone. So they're saying the right things. I just want to see it executed now.
Right.
Please.
Their manifesto is, you can boil it down to keep the open web open. And I think this is the only way to do it. So, but you're right. Again, still reserving judgment until I see some movement toward these things and until some of these things are a little more well-defined. But cautiously optimistic. I don't want to fall into the trap of cynicism here. Because I really do think Mozilla is probably one of the last bastions, man. Yeah, it is. It really, just look at the internet. Look at anytime Mozilla moves,
though.
Just watch.
They've done this. They've done this to themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they have. They absolutely have. Yep.
And hopefully, new CEO, new leadership, new shining light, new direction. I hope.
Yeah. Let's see. So